Hey everyone, welcome to another video by The Modern Merchant, and today we're going to talk books. One of my favorite subjects. I got started online selling books, and if anyone ever tells you that books are dead, they are wrong. I make a lot of money every year on books. I'm going to do other videos on books, things I look for individual books, but today we're going to talk about book sets. Now, as you see on the table here, I got a lot of books, and these are all books that I found from a 1 week's worth of thrifting. A couple different stores that I went to. The total is just shy of $60 for everything you see on the table here. But I bought all this stuff for a reason. We're going to go through that reasoning, and then we're going to talk about what I think I can make for each one of them. So we're going to start over here on the left-hand side. As you can see, I got a lot of paperbacks and some hardbacks mixed in. Just so you have an idea, the paperbacks for the most part were 50 cents a piece, and the hardbacks were $1 a piece, which is right in the great price range for books when you're buying them from thrift stores and other places like that. I'll pay a little bit more for some of them, but not much more. But right here, we're going to start with Hardy Boy books. The reason I buy these is because they're great for young kids. People are always looking for them. These were in pretty good shape. I did not pay the 99 cents that you see on the sticker. Like I said, they're 50 cents a piece, so that's $2 for that set. And that whole set I can take, even though they're updated covers, they're not covers from the 50s and 60s and 70s, which do bring a lot more value. These are still sought after. And so if I sold them on average, my individual book price is between $5 and $7. I would probably put these up for $5 a piece, which would be $20 for the whole set, which means I'm going to make, pretty decent money after all the shipping and fees, okay? Right up above it, you have the Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins series, this popular Christian series called Left Behind. This is not the whole series, and we have a mix of hardback and paperback books. The reason that I buy all of these, and I usually buy any one of these types of books, as long as it's in good condition, I will buy these books because I can create sets from them. Those sets usually have 12 to 13 books in them, depending on the ones that I find. There are some prequels, and there's some books that come along after the series is technically over. But it's a great series to buy because I can take a whole set of 12 to 13 of them and sell them between $65 and $75 for the whole set. And usually it costs me about 15 bucks for a set, over time as I'm buying these books. So I'll buy these, I'll set them aside, and when I have a whole set, we'll list them online. Next to them are Anthony Horowitz, this is just a great looking series. I know the author as well. It's the Alex Rider series that he wrote. Again, paperbacks, 50 cents a piece. I would probably, sell that for $20, maybe $25 for that whole set, okay? And right underneath it here, H.D. Smith series. Now, I generally don't look for stuff like this, and when I say like this, the distinguishing factor for me is if I flip it over, the ISBN looks like it may be self-published, and so generally I don't take a risk on self-published books, or if I think it's self-published, but this one I thought, at 50 cents a piece, I'll take a chance. We'll see what happens. I might put it up for $10, maybe $15, depending on, if I can find them online selling at a decent price, but we'll see. But they look in excellent shape. That's the reason that I bought it, and the fact that they were cheap as well. All right, right up above them is Trixie Belden. It was a whole series that I found at a thrift store. I was thrilled to find those. They're older books. Some of these books I know can go for $10 to $20 a piece. I have 17 of them here. If they go for $10 a piece, of course, that's $170. You can see how quickly you can make money on books, particularly book sets. However, I probably won't list it for that. I will go through each individual book, make sure, if it's a first edition, figure out, that information, and see if it has higher value than the others. And if some of them have some higher value, then I'll take them out and I'll sell them separately. If they don't, then I'll put them all together, and I will probably get between $80 to $100 for that set, maybe a little bit more, again, depending on the actual books that are in the series. You can see I don't have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a mix of book numbers in there. So I'm going to have to really do some research on that. It was a great find. All right, right up above it, another really good find. I got one hardback and then several paperbacks, is John Flanagan's The Ranger's Apprentice series. My kids have actually started reading this, So I'm not sure if these are actually going to make it to eBay, but maybe they will. But I love finding stuff like this because, again, the paperback prices are usually cheaper at thrift stores. These are in overall really good shape. There are some books that are in good to acceptable condition due to the wear on the spine and the covers, but most of the contents and the inside is just fine. And no writing on the books, that sort of thing. So I can, again, take a set like this and probably sell them for $5 a book. I haven't counted them here, so I'll count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 books. Even at $5 a piece, we're looking at $80 for that set. I might put the price down a little bit for that, depending on the condition of the books. But you know, you can see, hey, we're making money on book sets here. And this is easy to do. You can do this stuff too. You just got to look for the same authors at different thrift stores. And sometimes people just donate a whole set of stuff together. All right, right underneath it, we have a book series by Robert Jordan. Now, the reason I bought this series is because, one, I'm a sucker for fantasy covers like this. You know, the horse and the knight and looks like he's going into battle. That kind of stuff just attracts my attention. It's kind of books that I read when I was younger, and so I'm kind of drawn to those. But he's a good writer as well, and you can see these are books in different series. You got book 12 from the Wheel of Time. It's the Wheel of Time series. You can see on there, right there, I think, in the corner. And they're great looking hardback books as well. The only thing was one of the covers had been damaged. I could tell. I'll flip it over here, and it looks like it had been taped. There was a tear in the cover. But if people are looking for these, not necessarily to collect, but just to read and enjoy the series, that won't matter too much to them. But some people really like the dust jackets in pristine condition. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to research each individual one of these. I could sell them $7 a piece. But the reason I'm going to look at each one of these is if I start opening them up, you find out that it's a first edition and it's a first print. So this might have some more value to it. And then we have the first trade edition, the same thing there. Okay, along with the one underneath it, first trade, and then the print. And then this one is not a first edition, but the reason that I would research this one is because it's signed. Okay, if it's first print signed, it would be worth more. But we can see that it's a third print run and it's not a first edition. Okay, so all of these, I'm going to look these up individually. I will probably still put them together as a lot, but it's going to give me a better idea of what the price for that lot would be. Okay, up above those is Paolini. There's 3 paperbacks and a hardback. Generally, that doesn't change the pricing structure that I use for stuff like that. So it'd be between $5 and $7 a book. But again, I'm going to look through and make sure, you know, those are not first editions. They're in good condition for the most part, but again, probably a $20 book set. All right, we're moving on. We got Rick Riordan. I have trouble saying his name every time. Rick Riordan. He's a very popular author. You can see I got 2 of the same, so I'll probably set one of those aside for an individual sale. But then the rest I could put together in a lot, or because I find a lot of his stuff from time to time, I can save these to make a bigger lot. He's got a whole lot of books out there, great for young kids, and you know they're all paperback and in pretty good condition. And so, you know, at $5 to $7 a book, again, I could probably set them aside to build a lot at some point to sell them. Okay. All right, right here we have a whole stack of mass market paperbacks by Louis L'Amour. Now, I don't generally buy mass market paperbacks unless it's from specific authors, and Louis L'Amour is one of them. He was such a prolific writer, and he wrote so many Western novels that people love it. And when I find stuff like this at the price that I found it for, both those stacks were $5 total, one big box of books. I was thrilled to find it, okay? Because what I will do is I will go through this whole stack of books. I will look at all the different titles and see if I have any doubles. If I do have any doubles, I'll pull those out, because the lots of books that I try to sell, I try not to have doubles in the titles. When I list the titles, any of the doubles that I have, I'll just make another auction for those. And I will probably sell the individual auctions at about $2 to $3 a book instead of my standard $5 to $7, unless there's some really valuable titles in there, okay? And you can see at this price, not $5 to $7, $2 to $3, I'm gonna make, you know, pretty good money off of my $5 investment on these books, okay? So we've gone through all the stuff on the table here. If you're interested in any of these books, they are going to be listed on my eBay store, which is We Surplus, WHEE Surplus. You can search for my store on eBay. I will do other videos about individual books, what I look for when I put stuff on Amazon, and individual books that I put on eBay versus Amazon as well. There's a lot to talk about with books. But if anybody tells you that books are dead, they're wrong. Don't listen to them. You can make a lot of money on books online. It's still a growing business. It's how I got started, and I sell books every day. And so anyway, you can do this too. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what you can look for. My store on eBay is We Surplus, okay? And if you like what you hear, then I also do commercial voiceover work, and you can check that out at govoiceover.com. You can listen to my demos there. Thank you everybody for listening. Like and subscribe on my channel, The Modern Merchant. I'm going to be adding more videos on a regular basis. So I appreciate you watching and hope you have a wonderful day.